Hi, I'm not wearing any pants, and this is Chilling in the Nightmare. I'm gonna say something, I don't even know how I'm supposed to say it, but because you're not supposed to talk about this, which is probably the most important reason that we should be talking about it. I guess if we were allowed to talk about it, we wouldn't have to talk about it. So, what am I talking about? We're gonna call it Caucasian primacy, right? So what are we doing? We're doing identity politics now. Because I remember probably for the last 10 years I've been saying, can we stop with the identity politics? Can we stop with the identity politics? And it's gotten to the point where at some point you have to fight fire with fire. They've been using identity politics against us for, probably since, the 50s, I guess, or the 60s, but it's stupid. Identity politics are stupid, but it's what we're doing. So if we're going to do it, then we're going to do it. So if you can't beat them, join them, and then beat them. So I've been against identity politics this whole time, but this is what we're doing, and I'm going to call it, Caucasian primacy. But this video isn't really about that. This video is actually about interracial relationships and the future of interracial relationships. Specifically my own experience of being married to Filipina and having, half Filipino children. Let me chill out for a minute. This is Chilling in the Nightmare. I need to actually chill for a second. So, dang. What can I say about this? Okay, so there's a guy I knew. I worked with him like 20 years ago at a haunted house. We were friends for 20 years on Facebook. And then lately he started lecturing me. And I didn't really want to engage with him because I'm not into that. If somebody wants to lecture me, I'm just gonna not participate. And so eventually I just blocked him because he wouldn't stop lecturing me, calling me a Nazi, which is basically the same as calling somebody a doo-doo head or a poopy face or something. It really doesn't mean anything, but I wasn't going to get involved with that. But his statement was that I cannot be involved in Caucasian primacy because I have half Asian children and they will never be accepted by my fellow Nazis. And I thought that the whole thing was stupid, but he does kind of make a point. The other thing he said is something that's, common knowledge, is that all the races are mixing and intermingling in things, and that eventually everybody's going to kind of turn yellow. And I think that's half of the truth. That is going to happen. But then the other half is like, say you've got like a purebred species of Texas Longhorn, for instance, and you want to preserve the species of Texas Longhorn. Do you just give up? Or do you, take steps and make an effort to preserve the species of Texas Longhorn? You take the steps to preserve the species. And so, now there was a group that on Facebook when it came out, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago, or maybe just 10, and the group is called Libertarian Guys with Asian Wives. And at that point, I was with a Japanese and my oldest daughter, she's half Japanese. And I thought, well, I'm going to participate in this because I am with an Asian. And I thought it was stupid. I was like, how are you gonna make some kind of group around the fact that you are this and you are married to that? That doesn't really make any sense. I don't understand. Why are we doing this? But it's what was happening and it's what they were doing. The woman involved with it, the wife of the libertarian guy, was the philosopher, which, she's an internet person. People know who she is. And but that's here nor there. I thought it was kind of a stupid thing at the time, but I said, I kind of fall into that. Not that I consider myself a libertarian, because why would I? But also, why not? Because, who cares? And so let me chill. I gotta chill, because this is a complicated video, sort of, compared to my other ones. I do some extra chilling to really settle into the nightmare of this arrangement. We're doing identity politics now. What does that mean? It means that Caucasians are done being, pushed around and stepped on and spat at and looked down on and excluded and belittled and, and scapegoated is the big one. They've been scapegoating us my entire life, saying, we're the worst, they're the best. Their diversity is our strength. We're the majority, they're the minority, which is wrong. We are the minority in terms of the planet. 7% of the planet is white people. Oh, see, I'm not supposed to say the color. I said the color, and now nobody's going to see this. Not that anybody was going to see it anyways, because my stuff doesn't get seen, because YouTube is so cool, or whatever. I wasn't supposed to say this color. I said the color. I meant Caucasians. So anyways, the long story short is you don't have to get this from me. You could see it all over the place. I'm just, throwing my 2 cents into a situation that exists apart from myself and beyond myself. But I am ready, willing, and able to participate in this arrangement because I've been angry about identity politics for a long time, and they've been using it against us for a long time, and I'm sick of it. And it's time that we turn the table and fight the fire with the fire, and we're doing identity politics now. So anyways, this guy who was lecturing me, and I blocked him, he says, your fellow poo-poo head duty-faced Nazis are not going to accept you because your kids are half brown. And I was thinking about that. I was like, that's a lot of suppositions. He's making a lot of assumptions there, that I care what these people think, or that I want to be involved with that kind of thinking. But it does raise a valid question of, okay, so what is the future of Caucasians with regard to, interracial relationships? And I don't know about other guys, but I think that white guys specifically are prone to, can I even say this? It's supposed to be a joke. I don't know why anyone would get offended, but it's about yellow fever. Is white guys like Asian women. It's just like a default setting for us because they're beautiful. And if you know anything about women, you know that Asian women are the most beautiful women on the planet, even, further than white women, I would posit. White women can be some of the most beautiful women on the planet, but you cannot, there's just no way. In terms of what makes somebody beautiful as like a woman specifically, it's, there's things like symmetry, and femininity, and being petite, and having a beautiful spirit, beautiful essence, and all kinds of things. But you just you really can't compete, in my opinion. But I have yellow fever, so somebody else would think that's crazy. A lot of people think it's just incorrect. But there's no accounting for taste anyways. My taste happens to be for an Asian woman who is my wife. But I used to be with white women because I didn't really end up with Asians until later on. I was with white girls all the time when I was younger. I just never made a baby with them, for lots of reasons. I was a huge loser, and there was a lot going on, and it never happened. But later on, when I got older and I got my life together, which was thanks to the Japanese woman, she really knocked some sense into me in terms of not being a loser. She's like, we can do this thing where we make a baby, but you can't be a loser anymore. So go get a job and stop being a loser. And that's what I did. And it worked out pretty good. That Japanese woman really made me the man that I am today. But what does this all have to do with Caucasian primacy? Caucasian primacy is an identity politics thing. We're not allowed to say what it is, but we all know what it is. And, the gauntlet is being thrown down all across the battlefield. This is the way it's going to be now. And I'm totally in support. But coming back to what, that goofball who was lecturing me on Facebook was saying that I'll never be accepted by these people. Well, you know, it's two different things is what I was thinking about. That's probably true, is that, you know, white guys with interracial children are always going to be kind of adjacent. But, sorry, I said the color again. But anyways, Caucasian people, my daughter, she's half Caucasian, so she still has this problem about, you know, the abuse that Caucasians are subjected to on a regular basis. So far as that extends into the future, it's going to be, you know, 50% of a problem for her. You know, it's 100% of a problem for me, just on principle. So that's the long and short of it, is we're going to be adjacent. And that's for all interracial couples, because we're going into a world where, sure, everybody is going to mix and they're all going to become some kind of shade of, you know, yellowish brown or whatever. They're all going to start having the same features and things. But, you know, we want to preserve as much of who we used to be as is possible. And for me, it's a lost cause, you know. I went in the other direction, but I totally understand all the other white guys out there, Caucasian, who want to stick to their kind and produce more of their kind, and more power to them. My sister's, you know, white, and she married a super, she's Caucasian, she married a super Caucasian guy, and my niece and nephew, super Caucasian little babies, and it's all good, it's great. But on the other hand, you know, the races are all mixing together, and that's fine too. And so what does it come down to is the identity politics thing. It's just for standing up for your own kind and trying to preserve who you are as people. And it's okay for everybody from all the other races. They tried to tell us that, you know, don't see color, and so we stopped. And nobody else did. Everybody else very much continued to see color, except they said, you're not allowed to see color. Everybody else can see color, but you cannot see color. Nazi, right? You cannot see color. But we're going to see color now. And you know, we've got Asian babies, and that's fine, because it's just two different things, you know. Over here, you've got the people that are preserving their lineage, and over here, you've got the people that are all mixing together. And both things are good, and both things are fine, and that's the way the future is going to be. But they want us to totally abandon the lineage, and they want to erase us. I'm not going to sit here and explain all the ways that they've been trying to erase us, because it's common knowledge at this point. And we know that it's a thing. And if they hadn't shoved it down our throats so much, and they hadn't made it such a problem for us, and they hadn't used it to justify all their ridiculous troons junior politics, and their, you know, freaking abortion clinics, and all the other insane thing, and, you know, and letting crime go off the rails, and letting all the, you know, illegal immigrants flood into the country, and all the things they like to do, that they, you know, they hide it behind identity politics so they can get this demographic, check that demographic, this demographic, check that demographic. Well, they forgot about one freaking demographic, and that was ours. They took every other group in the world and they pitted it against us, but they didn't realize that we really, you know, they want to say that we have ill will, but we don't actually have ill will, and we think it's totally fine for people to be who they are, and who they, you know, and to try and sustain who they are, and to have strength, and to, you know, to live their truth, or whatever, however you want to say it. You know, we think it's fine for people to be who and what they are, but they're trying to tell us that we cannot be who and what we are. So them over there on that side, they collected the ladies, and they collected, you know, the darker complexioned individuals, and they collected the people who like to have butt sex with each other, and they collected, you know, all these different demographics The Small Hat Club is the big one. They're the ones that are causing this entire situation, because guess who's the biggest threat to them? It's this demographic right here. I am that demographic. They could not check this box, and they will never check this box, because we see them for what they are, and we know what they are doing, and we are not cool with it. It is not chill. It is the nightmare. So this is the nightmare we are chilling in now. And so, you know, I am Caucasian, and I am 100% in support of Caucasian primacy. We are doing identity politics now. Like it or not, I was telling them to stop. I've been, you know, ever since I started realizing what they were doing, I've been saying, stop doing that, stop doing that. Especially because they're saying, don't see color. But it's like, all you do is see color. We're over here not seeing color, not seeing color. And all they do is see color and tell us don't see. It's a double standard. It's hypocritical, and we are sick of it, and we're fed up with it, and we're not going to tolerate it anymore. And that's the way the future is going to be. We're not ever going back to playing it cool. Caucasian primacy is the way of the future. You can do ethnic primacy. Lord knows you could do Hebrew primacy. They've been doing it, for thousands of years. They're the chosen people. They've got all the primacy in the world. And you can do Asian primacy. You can do any kind of primacy you want. And it's totally cool, because that's how a game is played. The rules are fair. You cannot have unfair rules, because that's an unfair game. So we are going to play the game the way that they have made the rules. And when they change the rules, we will... I mean, Jesus, can we just not play the game? It's a stupid game anyways. Why are we out here playing games? But, it's power games. We have historically powerful influence on the world, which, other people who have historically a powerful influence, they're threatened by it. And good, I hope they are. And I hope they're more afraid of it than I can even comprehend, because Lord knows I've had problems with this group. I mean, I don't want to get into it. It's just stupid. Let everybody else get it. Everybody else in the world can get into it. My problem with the Small Hat Club goes into publishing. I was a novelist, and I tried to get into publishing, and I just kept coming up against these small hat people who were gatekeeping me and, spitting on me and telling me that I don't matter and all these things. But worse than that, they were stealing my ideas and turning them into crappy movies. That's what really made me mad. And so they take my ideas and they turn into a crappy movie over and over and over again, until I stopped sending them my ideas. But for a while I had to send them my ideas, because they control the media among everything else. So you want to talk about the things they control? The government, they control the military, they control the utilities, the power companies, they control the banks, anything you can think of, all the corporations, anything you can think of, those people are in control of it. And yet they're threatened by little old me. And so I'm mad at them about the publishing situation, specifically, trying to get involved in arts and entertainment. But, everybody else on Earth, if you know what is happening on Earth, then you know that these people are between us and the evil. And we will never be able to defeat the evil unless we can get through these people. And I don't want anything bad to happen to anybody ever, but I do believe they should be nullified so that good can happen to everybody else, because the evil is working through them to create this hell realm that we are taking place in. That's my whole video. I don't know if I really got to my point about, having interracial babies is good. And having purebred babies is good. And having pride in your tribe is good, no matter what your tribe is. And we're just not gonna take it. Whatever it is, we're not gonna take it anymore. And all the games they've been playing with us, maybe that's the point. We're not gonna play your game, but we are going to we're gonna stop being afflicted by your affliction. And we're just going to be who we are, which is, we're entitled to be who we are. Everybody is entitled to be who we are. And we don't have to play nice anymore, because we don't want to be playing to begin with. I've been saying I don't want to do this. Identity politics, I don't want it. You should not do it. I don't want to do it. Nobody should be doing identity politics. It's stupid, but it's what we're doing. So we didn't want to play. And if we have to play, we want to play fair. And if we can't play fair, then we're not going to play nice. And it's... we did not ask for this. And whatever. My friend who was lecturing me on Facebook about people are not going to accept my interracial babies, that guy's dumb. He shouldn't have been lecturing me anyways. Lecturing people is a stupid thing to do. Who are you to tell anybody what to think about anything? Which I hope is not what I am doing here right now. I'm just saying what I think about things. Anyways, that's the end of the video. Deuces.